Hey, hey, hey! What's up, YouTube? I just got this sick mace, and I'm about to show it off. Check out my mace moves. You're not gonna believe what I'm about to do. It's gonna be fuck. Wow, can you believe that, guy? Anyway, welcome back to Bloodborne. We've got a new build. Can you believe it? Probably, because that happens like every episode. But anyway, I like to call this one the Mad Lad, because he's mad. Anyway, we've got our weapon of choice today is the Bloodletter, as you probably saw just now. It's +8 because I'm just that good, and I'm tired of farming for chunks. Sorry. Also, you'll probably notice there are no gems in there right now because I filmed this part after. But don't worry, there are gems in the weapon when I use them, so we'll be okay. I do still have quite a bit of difficulty, understandably, as you'll see. We've also got our attire. We've got the Graveguard mask, courtesy of Doris. Found this in the Forbidden Woods, separate from the rest of the outfit, for reasons. Got the Yahar'gul black garb. You'll never believe where we got that one. Got the Charred Hunter gloves. We found those in Old Yarnum, and then the Wine Hakama, which we got from Yamamura in the DLC. And we got the shield, the wooden shield that we got over in Central Yarnum. Which I actually use in this video, believe it or not. So we're going dungeon diving today once again, mostly through one particular dungeon, although first we need to go into the lower Themerian Labyrinth. Yes, layer 2. There's a little something I want to grab there. Here we are, lower Themerian Labyrinth. I fought a few more bosses. You know, I went through a few various dungeons and fought some other bosses that I was going to show in this video that were quote-unquote unique up to this point, but honestly, that either weren't very different from bosses that we fought in the past, or weren't very different from bosses we would be seeing later. So I decided to just leave those out because this video is pretty long anyway. Also, I wanted to point out the face on this scorpion, which some people may not notice. It reminds me a lot, actually, of the Fly Men, for lack of a better term, in the Dark Souls 3, the last Dark Souls 3 DLC. Which are the stuff of my nightmares. So I'm glad to see that they're also in this too. Anyway, other than this little venture, we're going to be pretty much focusing on one particular dungeon, which I'm shrouding in secrecy for no particular reason. I'd like surprises, I guess. You can skip ahead and find out. I mean, I'm not going to send a hired assassin to your house or anything. Why would I do that? That'd be crazy. Can't believe you would even imply that I would do that. Like, what? I don't really have a reason to lower this drawbridge. I like pushing the lever. But anyway, I wandered around here for a little bit. I was kind of only guessing as to where this item was, but I finally found it over here on the opposite side of the drawbridge, underneath it. So here you can see the Bloodletter in its transformed mode. It's pretty fucking gnarly, especially considering you have to fucking stab yourself to make it happen. Oh, and there is the L2 attack, which, as I mentioned in the... Jesus, it's a pretty shoddy play. This is post-commentary, by the way. As I mentioned in the last video, the L2 attack for this causes frenzy damage, which is unique to this weapon. I don't think there's really any other way that you can cause frenzy damage, so that's pretty neat. It also builds up your frenzy gauge as well, and it's not like a one and done kind of thing. You know, I think it's mostly just useful for PvP, and you'll probably have to do it 2 or 3 times to actually get someone, unless they just have super low frenzy resistance, which is always possible. You know, roll of the dice. This room gave me some real issues. But I done it. Now I can open the chest and get our prize, which is a workshop haze extractor. For me, you shouldn't have. Let's see if I can find it. I need A now. There it is. It extracts arcane haze. A misplaced workshop tool from the Hunter's Dream. The hunter who retrieves this can extract arcane haze from ritual materials. And basically, that's just something we need for the dungeon we're about to go into. You can see here there's now an arcane haze option. That little menu there was basically just explaining what I said. So we need 22, I believe. So we'll just grab a few of these ritual blood level 3s. So we lose those and get the arcane haze from them. And we'll do ritual blood 2. And we've got what we need. Now we'll just walk over to the tombstone and perform the ritual. Like you do. So now the secret's revealed. We are going into the defiled chalice, which most notably cuts your health in half. And for that reason, I'm going to be turning the HUD on for, I think, the entirety of the rest of this video, because I got to keep tabs on how much health I have, because it's going to be a very small amount. Half of what it is now, to be precise. And you see, I gave myself as much of a health boost as I could there. In we go. Oh yes, and I wanted to read the description which I got from the last boss of the Lower Thimeru dungeon. This defiled chalice is cursed. Curses are caused by inciting the anger of the Great Ones and used to hex others. Special materials required. To try one's hand at curses, first seek the Bastard of Loran. And that was another material that I think was needed for this particular dungeon. But look at that health! I know, right? Very shocking. But anyway, we're going to skip ahead. We're just going to do all the bosses for this dungeon because I respect your time. So you're welcome. As you probably noticed, I tried to block the fire there because this shield is supposed to be good for blocking everything pretty much except physical damage. Then again, it's a wood shield, so like maybe fire is the exception there. But also the fire sweeps kind of low, so it may have just gone under the shield. I don't know. I'm not willing to put in the experiment, the scientific testing necessary to figure this out. Point is, it didn't work. So all of the bosses we're fighting today are bosses that we fought before, but with the added challenge of just not having as much health, which is super cool. It's, you know, it's not as lazy as I'm making it sound, I think. It does kind of suck that in order to go through, like, to progress through the dungeons, like to get to the end, quote unquote, you have to go through this one. Kind of sucks. Oh, and here's where I start dying a bunch. Oof. I thought this first one would not be so bad. It was kind of bad, though. But I only died, what, 3 or 4 times? That's not too bad. I'm pretty used to fighting this boss through parry spam. That's usually my mode of operation, but this character doesn't have a gun. He just has the shield and a torch. If there were a third slot available, I'd probably give him a gun, but my hands are tied. This weapon's pretty fun to use, especially if you can get like deep into the combo where you're just slamming the thing on the ground repeatedly. It's a blast. It's also fun to do the transform attack where you stab yourself, but you like turn around so that you also stab your target. It's great. I'm not sure if I actually show that off in the video, but rest assured, it is cool. Goddamn chandelier getting in the way. Getting close though. Come on. Yeah, there we go. There's that slam barrage. I can't do it as much as I'd like because I had to take my stamina runes off so I could have more health. My health still barely ekes out over my stamina bar. Being very cautious here. I don't want to get too cocky. As you saw, I can get like one shot killed. Down goes the keeper. That's 1 of 3, and I got a chunk, thank God. I have to get so many fucking chunks for these weapons. Oh my God. But anyway, 1 down, let's move on to the next one. Watchdog of the Old Lords. This is where the men are separated from the boys. People complain about this boss, as well as the next one, very often. And there's the first death. And there's the rest of them. Anyway, let's try this again. So basically my strategy with this boss, which I think I just got this from someone else. I think I maybe read it somewhere or something. You want to go for his legs, and in particular you want to go for 2 of them. I don't know if this is the best strategy, but this is just the one that I know, and it eventually worked for me. You want to go for his left front leg there, like break it basically. Once you deal enough damage to one of the limbs, it gets all fiery like that. I believe that means it takes more damage. But you don't want to do this to all of his limbs, because I think once you do that, then he will do some sort of regeneration thing so that all of his limbs will be returned to normal. So you want to go for that front left one there, and then also his back right one. And that's what I did anyway. And probably avoid attacking him head on, like hitting his head, because he'll do that fire breath move that he was just doing, and it's pretty rough. Wouldn't recommend it. But for this guy, I actually had to take a break after. I don't know exactly at what point I stopped, but somewhere amongst all those deaths, I put the game down and slept on it and came back the next day. Usually if you're having trouble with the boss, that's honestly the best thing you can do, is just put it down, you know, get some time between you and the game, and let all the patterns soak into your brain and just come back to it a few hours later or even the next day. And usually it'll work out a lot better for you. Does for me anyway. You know, I see some people, sometimes people are like, oh, I've been trying to kill this boss for like a month and I still can't do it. And that's got to be frustrating, I would imagine. I'm just too good to know, you know. I just got so good, I don't even know what that's like. That move terrifies me. I think that's actually what killed me. Well, not the first time. One of the first times I think that killed me. And I think I was doing pretty good that particular time. It's funny, this boss is either so piss easy or really damn hard, because he's like the first final boss, like in Chimera. Oh, by the way, if you interrupt his little barfing magma move, the magma continues to come out. So that's something I didn't know, and now I do, and now you do. You're welcome. Anyway, this guy appears in the very first dungeon, which I usually don't go into until I'm way over leveled for the first dungeon, and so it's just insanely easy. And then the next time I see him, it's in here, and he destroys me. So that's nice. I eventually get my revenge, though. That's how it always goes. Sounds really disturbing when you just say something out loud like that. Oh, Jesus. Those quick snaps are dangerous. I think I was pooping my pants right about now. But I gritted my teeth and sat through it, because I'm so close. Is it gritted? Is it past tense of grit? Grit? I don't remember. Come on. Almost there. So close. Wow. That was very dumb. I really should have just gotten that last hit in. But I managed to barely live. Dude, just hit him. Good lord. Okay, finally. Got him. Got the root chalice for what that's worth. Breathing a little sigh of relief right there. Took many tries, but we're moving on. And we're facing Amygdala. Again, first time you face this boss, it's in the Nightmare Frontier, and it's like kinda easy. But then in this dungeon, it's also super easy. I mean, I did this one on the first try. Just really no problem at all. You know, I don't really see what people are complaining about so much. This one's super easy. Okay, maybe I died a few times. Also, there's the message. Oopsie. Yeah, okay. This boss is... This is pretty freaking tough. It gets particularly difficult in the latter half because, you know, the boss fucking rips its own arms off and gets double the range. So you can't just run away. As you may have noticed at the end of the montage there, I started using a Call Beyond to get some damage in from a distance, which I will also be employing in this successful attempt, because I wanted to beat this thing at some point, sooner rather than later, you know? And hey, a win is a win is a win is a win. But, you know, for this boss, you want to try to hit the head as much as possible. Not always super easy, but whatever chance you get. Also, the hands are a good second in terms of damage. The legs are no good, from what I remember. I mean, I didn't do it this time, but from what I remember, the legs take way less damage. The frustrating part about this one is that if you get unlucky and get hit by one attack, sometimes there's absolutely nothing you can do to stop the second attack from hitting you and killing you. That visceral is always so satisfying. Even more so if it actually came late enough for you to kill it, but beggars can't be choosers. Also, I love that you can see some bosses get visibly more absolutely pissed that this tiny little thing is actually doing some serious damage. And it was at this point that I just fully went, okay, range time. And I have just enough health that slam didn't kill me. I have to take blood bullets before every single shot of this thing, because it takes, I think it's 7 bullets. So that's less than 3 shots if you don't use any blood bullets. Here it comes. I think this is the last one. It wasn't. Oh my god. That was very close. I almost blew it. Alright, here we go. This is the one. Nope. So close. Got it. That's a dead amygdala. Whew. Another sigh of relief, unclenching of the butt cheeks. And for our struggles, we get the Great Thumeru Ihil Chalice, I think is how you pronounce it. The description for which we will read right now-ish. Here we go. Great chalices unlock deeper reaches of the labyrinth. Thumeru Ihil was the title of both the Thumerian monarch and its capital. This reveals that while early Thumerians were mere humble guardians of the slumbering Great Ones, their descendants felt entitled to name themselves a leader. A leader that we will be meeting when we go into this dungeon, which will be in the next episode. Meaning, I don't know what's going to happen for the rest of this episode, but we're going to find out together. Actually, it's just the ending. I'll be collecting the extra materials that we don't have off screen, like the red jellies and the ritual bloods. I think that's about it, because we had the living string, which we got from the brain of Mensis, and whatever the other thing is. Anyway, that was today's video. It was a struggle on my end, but I got through it. Actually, for Amygdala, I didn't even have to. I didn't even have to stop. I just kind of pushed through and was able to do it. Cheesed it a little bit at the end with the Call Beyond, but come on, it's tough. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. We'll be going through the Thumeru Chalice. And that'll be the end of the Chalice dungeons, really. After that, there will be another Chalice dungeon episode. Now that I think about it, we're gonna be going through the other Chalice type that's not really necessary for the core Chalice dungeon progression, and we're gonna talk about some cut content stuff, just some other things that I haven't touched on that I want to. And I believe after that is the final episode. We're coming up on it, so all things must come to an end, as they say, and this is no different. Anyway, that's enough of that. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you watch the next one. Have a nice evening. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take it easy.